Where we find vice, viciousness, we find brevity, right? Because it's irrational. It's following passion, following desire. It's the desire for instant gratification of what we want. Everything is rushed and hasty and destructive.
In a nutshell, about literature with Joseph Pearce.
Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Franczak and this is part 37 of In a Nutshell about literature with Joseph Pearce. We are continuing our conversation about Romeo and Juliet. After pondering Juliet's surprisingly young age in the play, now we are turning to the topic of the play's hasty pace. Why this rush? Is it just a theatrical convention or something more? And all right, the next thing that I noticed rereading the play, so is this impression or a sense of haste. Everything is happening in a rushed manner, yes, and it is not merely a theatrical convention if we look at it. Because of course we are aware then on stage we have to imagine that I don't know, several weeks have passed and now we are in a different moment, and even the most reasonable man, like who seems, like you mentioned, the only reasonable man in the whole play, Friar Lawrence, seems to unfortunately succumb to this, making a huge mistake, by the way. And you pointed out this fact, writing, because I think it's also important to notice. It's not worthy that Shakespeare condenses the whole drama into 5 briefless days, whereas in the poem, which is the source, the action takes place over several months. The question is not whether Shakespeare understands such romantic passion, it is what he has to say about it. So what does Shakespeare have to say about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, one thing that's very interesting. The longest of all Shakespeare's plays is Hamlet, and the dynamic of Hamlet is that Hamlet is always using his reason. He's all sorts of things are happening to him that make him passionate and angry, but he doesn't allow his reason to pander his will. In other words, he doesn't allow his reason to be overpowered by his passion. So Hamlet's the longest play that Shakespeare wrote. Where we find vice, viciousness, we find brevity, right? Because it's irrational. It's following passion, following desire. It's the desire for instant gratification of what we want. Everything is rushed and hasty and destructive. So a parallel would be the second shortest of all of Shakespeare's plays is Macbeth, right? So basically, once Macbeth and Lady Macbeth make these fatal choice. I mean, fatal as in deadly, not as in fate. These deadly choices, that things plummet and spiral downwards very, very quickly. The whole thing is over, right? Like an explosion. Once the bad decisions are made. Same thing in Romeo and Juliet, right? The explosion is a different sort of explosion. It's not an explosion of political ambition and violence and bloodshed, although there's a lot of bloodshed in the end. It's the explosion of passionate, erotic desire, but the consequence is the same. Everything happens rapidly, like an explosion, and everything ends disastrously and destructively, like an explosion.
Yes, and it is visible if you read this play, and you notice that it is like really crazy. Everything is happening quickly without thinking too much. Yes, the swords are drawn. Okay, they fight, kill each other. Okay, Romeo runs to Friar Lawrence because he is in love, and he forgets about the previous girl. Now he wants to be only with Juliet, and so on and so on. It is like, when you look from this point of view, it is just total madness, right?
Absolutely total madness and recklessness. Recklessness in the original sense of the word. Reckless means you do not stop long enough to reckon, right? To actually reason. You forget all reason, you forget all reckoning, you just go ahead, plummet ahead, following your passions, and to hell with the consequences. Well, and then you get what you get.
And I think it is worth mentioning the words of Friar Lawrence, who seems to be the only reasonable one. These violent delights have violent ends, and in their triumph die, like fire and powder, which as thy kiss consume. The sweetest is the loathsome in his own deliciousness, and in the taste confounds the appetite. Therefore, love moderately, long love doth so. Too swift arrives as tardy as too slow, right?
Perfect. And thanks for quoting that, because that could serve as the epigraph at the beginning of the whole play. You know, Friar Lawrence's words of wisdom basically saying, well, if that happens, this will happen. And you watch the play and you see the consequences.
Yes, and Friar Lawrence also points out Romeo's weakness, actually, because he says that he behaves not like a real man, but like a woman, right? And this is also something important in this play, that you cannot treat it as a play about great romantic love at first sight, right? Big love, and he says, man, you are not behaving rationally. Yes, you are like a woman who is, I don't know, shaken by emotions, and right. This is also very important.
Exactly, and by the way, that Romeo's passion and his recklessness in the presence of Friar Lawrence is also blasphemous. You know, when Friar Lawrence is trying to counsel prudence and temperance, he basically says, "Is heaven is here where Juliet lives." Right? He has only one God, and it's a goddess. Right? So the only heaven that he acknowledges is Juliet's presence, which means that when he's banished, it's like going to hell. And Friar Lawrence says, "No, well, hold on for a second. You know, we can sort this out. Just be a little bit patient." But no patience, no recklessness. If I cannot be with Juliet now, I'm in hell. And
Yes.
basically, to hell with you and to hell with everybody else, right? Until I could be with her again. This is whatever else this is, yeah, and it's lots of things, right? Whatever else is, it's not anything virtuous or healthy.
Thank you for watching. If you haven't seen the previous episodes yet, please check the In a Nutshell About Literature playlist. You can watch them individually or as 5 longer compilation videos. And please remember, you can support the development of this channel in several ways. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave a comment. Share the video by copying the link and posting it on our social media. Support us financially by buying me a virtual cup of coffee or making a donation. Please check the options below the video, where you'll find links to 2 services, Buy Coffee 2 and Zrzutka. Thank you once again, and see you in the next episodes of In a Nutshell About Literature with Joseph Pearce. God bless you.